Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Iyun. Today I want to analyze Maaser Sheni Perek Gimel Mishnah Yud Gimel. We'll start from the middle of the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, "B'medvarim amurim." Now this is going on the previous Mishnah, Mishnah Yud Beis. Makom shedarchen limkor stumos. Makom shedarchen limkor psuchos. Yasa kan lechulin. Now, in the previous Mishnah, Mishnah Yud Beis, it says basically that if you have Maaser Sheni in a bottle of wine, so under normal circumstances, under most circumstances, the bottle does not take on Kedusha Maaser Sheni, meaning it's chul in the bottle of Maaser Sheni. You don't have to redeem it for fruit or carbonos that you're going to use and eat and enjoy in Yerushalayim. The bottle is a bottle. Go deposit it and get your 30 agorot back or your 10 cents in America. However, that's only makom shedarchen limkor stumos. Makom shedarchen limkor psuchos, if they're open bottles, so liyatza kan kalvulin. That kan also has Kedusha Maaser Sheni. What is psuchos and what is stumos? Psuchos, people sold bottles of wine open. You don't leave bottles open. No, there's two types of wine. There's fancy wines and there's cheap wines. When you go to the store and you buy a cheap wine, usually you'll have, not always, right? Most wines will have a cork in them, and they'll have some sort of metallic seal on top of it, some metallic paper or something like that you have to take off, and then you have to use a corkscrew to get out the cork. Those are simple bottles of wine. They do sell expensive bottles of wine like that also, but the fancy types of bottles, like champagne, tequila, right? I'm not talking about wine necessarily, tequila, things like that, cognac or things like that, it's not so hard to open it, champagne, or Asti or things like that, you have to take off. They have some sort of like crown, like a metal crown. You undo the metal crown, and if you just leave it in the fridge, it'll just pop off by itself. It's very easy to pop off a bottle of champagne. You don't need a corkscrew for that. You just pull it out. The same thing about tequila, cognac, these expensive drinks. The truth of the matter is that they're not psuchos, not open, but they're basically psuchos. When you have to take off the metallic seal and then you have to use a corkscrew, it's work to take that corkscrew. Some people like using a corkscrew. I want to get an electric corkscrew. It look cool. The only problem is that most of the times you use a corkscrew on Shabbos. You can't use electricity on Shabbos, according to most leading Rabbanim. There are probably Rabbanim that say it's okay. Anyway, so over here, psuchos doesn't mean the bottles are open. It means they're fancy bottles. They're basically open. You just have to pull at the stopper. It's like a cork with like a knob on top, a round knob on top. You pull out the knob and it's gone, it's out. So those are like psuchos. So when it has psuchos, so therefore, usually when you have bottles of expensive stuff, the bottles are really fancy also. I have a bottle of cognac XO, the best type of cognac. It's probably not the best brand, Roland Brew, I don't know. It's probably not the best brand, but it's an expensive cognac. It's XO, the oldest, 6 years plus aged. So the bottle is really fancy. It looks like a perfume bottle, and the bottles of champagne can be really fancy. Fancy bottles, tequila bottle, silver Patron I just bought, also fancy bottles. So when you have fancy bottles, so there's chashivos to the bottle also. So when a person sets aside Maaser Sheni and such a thing, he wants it to be presented in that nice bottle. So therefore, when you set aside Maaser Sheni in such a bottle, so therefore, it's in psuchos, the bottle also has Kedusha Maaser Sheni, because Kedusha Maaser Sheni basically is taking a vacation. And when you take a vacation, you want to have luxurious and fancy things. They have meaning. Luxury and fancy things have meaning on vacation. You're supposed to indulge in luxurious and fancy things. So there is meaning to it. So therefore, a regular bottle of wine served in a glass bottle, okay, you have a corkscrew, a cork, you have some metallic sealing. The bottle you throw out. Who cares about the bottle? It doesn't make it look that much nicer. It's not luxurious to have a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon 2022 wine from Israel. But on the other hand, fancy bottles, like champagne bottles, or cognac bottles, those look really nice. So it's part of the luxury, part of the experience is the bottle. Part of the money you're paying for is the bottle. So therefore, Kedusha Maaser Sheni, Dafka Maaser Sheni has Kedusha Maaser Sheni on these bottles because they want to be served in those bottles. The point is something else. It's not the same. So part of the value of the cognac itself is in the bottle itself. So therefore, when you set up Maaser Sheni, the bottle is not tafel to the wine inside. The bottle is not insignificant. The bottle is significant because it provides that nice look, that luxurious look that luxurious experience, which is all part of the Maaser Sheni experience, your vacation, Yerushalayim, paid for by God. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.